That's annoying. And it makes the most annoying noise in the world. One more thing that's annoying. The number one thing that I hate most about this car. Hey everyone, this is the channel that shows you that you can work on your own car, but probably do it the wrong way. Today, we might not do much work, but I'm gonna be talking about my 2000 Dodge Viper GTS. Little backstory about this car. I got it 2 years ago, and I looked everywhere for it. I wanted one with this exact color combination, the red with the silver stripes. That is so cool. I would have went with white or silver, you know, the stripes. Either one's fine. But I love this car, and just looking at it, it actually looks like it's in pretty good shape. But I'm sure that you heard that phrase, looks can be deceiving, because this has a lot of problems with it. All the problems are not major problems, but they're problems. And I want to go over each and every one of them and show you what they are, because over the course of the next, while, I'm gonna be fixing all of these small, little, annoying issues. So the very first issue I want to talk about is the paint. Now, for the most part, the paint looks good, but there are a few little rock chips and stuff, and actually, a couple of days before filming this video, you'll see this. This is actually something that happened to me a couple of days ago on the freeway. What happened is there was a big tire rolling down the middle of the road, and there was a car on both sides of me, so I couldn't swerve or stop fast enough. So I just ended up hitting that thing, and it ended up tearing up the paint on this thing, and there's chips and there's scratches now, so you'll see me fix that. Here's another spot that's a little bit bad. You know, as far as the paint goes, it's okay, but there are things like this. Here's another one on the hood. Here's one on the trunk. See, it's not terrible, but it's there. Another one here on the back. See, so the paint's not that bad, honestly. It's just a little bit of, maybe sanding, touch-up paint. I'm not sure if this car has clear or not. I don't know. I haven't researched the paint on this enough, but that's not too bad. Like just little chips here or there. This is a factory paint color, so you can always buy it from dealerships and stuff. So that's not bad. But there are some slight wiring problems, and to be specific, one of them is my fault, and one of them is also kind of my fault. One is the stereo. I actually took this to a guy, and he did the stereo, and I'm not sure if it was his fault or like what happened or whatever, but the speakers make this kind of fuzzy noise every now and then, so that's annoying. And the other one is actually my fault. I replaced the radiator and fan in this car because, this car also overheats very badly. We'll get to that later, but for now, the fan wiring, I did myself. And that should explain it all right there. I did it myself, so it's not the greatest job. And the wires I got, I guess were low quality, and they're like falling apart. So I'm gonna go back in there and redo all that wiring. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, so I basically hooked this up right off the battery, which of course is also not, a fantastic idea. And it goes all the way down here, and you can see those wires that look like they're really out of place. Yeah, that was me too. And this mess right here is me. I gotta fix that. That's actually very bad. This is just one of those things that have been bothering me, and I want to just fix it. So, this wire goes all the way down to the fans, and the fans are right there. You can't really see them because it's covered with all this stuff here. But if you look right here at that ground, yikes, man, that thing is like coming apart. It's like chewed up. Look at that. You see that? So that's how all the wires are now all of a sudden. So I don't know what the hell happened to these wires, but that's one thing I'm gonna redo. Oh yeah, and this ridiculousness is me too. That's me. These relays, the placement for them, the horrible placement form was decided by me. This is all me. So everything that looks crappy, pretty much, is me. That's what I did. So now that I talked about the fan wiring, let's talk about the car overheating. This thing in the summer gets really, really hot. And it wouldn't have anything to do with that enormous 8-liter V10 under the hood. Yeah, I don't know why, but when they made this car, they put the smallest little radiator in here. Like, they must have got it from a Dodge Caravan or something like that. Like, it's so small and it's so thin. Like, these kind of desert climates, you know, it doesn't work out well. This thing really hates it, and it gets hot. And I've already replaced the radiator. I actually took it out. I took it to a shop that customized the cores and made, you know, a thicker, more dense, larger radiator. Threw that in there, put new nice fans in there. It still didn't help. So I did that because I didn't want to buy the more expensive racing, you know, triple pass, high flow, you know, expensive race car radiator, but I have to because this thing is, oh my God. Like, if you're not constantly moving down the street, it just sits there and gets hot. So on with the list. One more thing that's annoying about this car are the wheels. Now, I love these wheels. I specifically wanted these wheels very badly when I was searching for this car. I think they're freaking awesome. They look so perfect on this car. But I don't know who had it before me, because whoever had it, oh my God, they curbed these wheels so many times. If you look around every single wheel, they all have these marks. Whether it was a kid or like an old lady, you know, like, or something. I'm not sure what happened, but they messed these wheels up. So eventually I gotta figure out some way to fix. Ow, God! The reflection off the wheels were heating my pants up. All right, let's talk about a strange one. Since we're talking about the wheels, this car also makes a weird noise with the suspension. I haven't yet looked through it, you know, take the wheels off to see what it is, but it's a very strange clicking noise. And it happens when I'm turning or reversing and turning. I'm not sure what it could be. I'm thinking like a ball joint. I don't know. But soon I'm going to take off the wheels and, you know, move them around and see exactly what's causing that strange noise. That video might be coming sooner than later because that's a safety issue. One more thing that's been bothering me about this car is that I'm not sure the owner who had it before me, and they might have put a small tune on this because I think the timing is a little bit aggressive for the gas that you can buy at the pump, because when you get on it, when you floor it, the engine sounds like it's pinging. If you don't know what pinging is, pinging means that if your engine has too aggressive of timing, that makes it more powerful, sure, but you have to have better gas to handle it. And if you don't, it'll make small explosions that are not controlled, and you can actually hear them from outside and inside the car. And I hear that when I get on the gas. And I've changed the spark plugs. I thought like there was, something to do with that. And I don't think it's like carbon deposits or anything that's causing it. It could be, but I just don't think so. But I'm actually not too worried about the engine pinging all that much, because I'm going to more than likely customize this engine. I'm gonna at least put a huge cam in it so it sounds cool, and maybe a turb ski or two. I don't know. I want to get this to 1,000 horsepower also, just like my Corvette build. So I'm not that worried, but it is, again, it's a problem. Put it on the list. The other stuff that's wrong with this is kind of more like cosmetic interior type things. So let's get to that. The first thing would be this rear window. The rear window works, of course, but the struts are bad. So when you pop the hatch in the cabin here, the rear window just kind of sits in place. You can hear it pop, but it just sits there until you go over there and kind of like lift it up into place. See, it pops, but it sits right here until you kind of like have to nudge it up, and then it's good. That's an easy one. I already bought the struts and they're at my house, so I'll install them pretty soon. Coming inside the Viper here, there's two things that are wrong. One is the parking brake. Now, the parking brake works, like it's fine, but it acts very strangely. And I don't know what part of the puzzle it is, like starting here and going all the way back to the wheels. I have to like investigate. But anyway, long story short, when you put this parking brake down, it's fine. And when you put it up, it's fine. But sometimes it's very tight. Like when you push it up, it only goes up like 2 clicks and that's it. But then sometimes when you put it down and you bring it back up again, it goes up like all the way to here. I mean, and it clicks like 20 times, like brrr, and I don't know what the hell can be causing that. And sometimes when it's down and I'm going up, it feels tight, and then it just slams back, and I'm like, what the? So I don't trust it ever. So, I mean, it works, but I have the parking brake on, but I always have it in gear because I don't trust this damn parking brake. I gotta find out what's causing that. And something else with the parking brake is when it's down and I'm driving around, this thing vibrates, and it makes the most annoying noise in the world. And I've taken apart this entire dash and tried to figure out what is vibrating, but I can't figure it out, and it drives me nuts. So when I'm driving and it starts to do that, I just kind of hit it, and it seems to stop it for that moment, but it's terribly annoying. So another weird thing about this car is the ashtray. I'm not sure what happened to this ashtray, but somebody put this weird little plastic piece of something in here, and it has a button on it, and I don't know what the button does. And I've even traced it back into the dash. It goes all the way in the dash, and then it just stops. Like, I'm not sure what it was for or what it does, but it's just some stupid crappy piece of plastic, and it looks like hell. I mean, it's like kind of embarrassing when I have somebody in here and they see that, and I'm like, oh, just don't pay attention to that. And then someone glued on magnet plates to it, and then tried to glue magnets to the side, but the magnets fell off. So it's like it just sits there and just rattles around, and I hate it. And you would say, oh, Gio, why don't you buy a new one? And I would say, you try to look for it. I've tried looking for this ashtray all over the internet, and I can't find it. I want it so bad because I hate looking at this. I hate it. I hate it so much. Like, you know, that's probably the number one thing that I hate most about this car is this. Well, there you have it. Those are all the problems with my 2000 Dodge Viper GTS. You know, I still love this car. They say that you should never meet your heroes, and this car was on my wall. I mean, it was a poster car. I had little models of it. In fact, I still have some of those models of this car when I was a kid. I've always wanted this car, and despite all the problems it has, I love it more than I thought I would, and I'll probably have it forever. I love everything about this car. It's so visceral, raw, dangerous feeling. It just rumbles at stoplights. It just shakes around. It makes you feel like you're in something terrifying, and that's kind of what I love about it, because it always wants to kill you. It's kind of a charm, I guess, if you will. But I love it. I absolutely love it, and I'll probably never get rid of it. Unless, of course, there's always a but. This car is going up in value right now. So if it gets valuable enough, of course I'll sell it. But that's the only way I'll get rid of it because I love it. Okay, everybody, I'm Giovanni reminding you that if you can do, wait a minute, you know what? Let's do some donuts real quick. All right, guys, I'm Giovanni reminding you that if an amateur like me can do stuff like this, then so can an amateur like you. So, at first glance, oh, I'm squinting, man. God, it's just so bright. It's so bright.